Hey guys, it's Jaylene with the Ranchy Redhead, and I'm here today because I just want to share a piece of my testimony and my story and kind of update you guys on what's going on. So it's kind of funny. I am sitting under an apple tree that I used to climb as a little kid, and I was just thinking about it. One of the last times I was here, they just trimmed it. They cut it all the way back, and I'm looking at it, and it's full of blooms now. It's going to be full of fruit this summer, and it just seems like a symbol for my life. Like, God has cut me all the way back. He's trimmed everything off. And now he's gradually allowing me to grow and rebuild again and get these little blooms. And so, for those of you who followed the original Ranchy Redhead writing page, you know 2 years ago I had an emotional breakdown. And people are, I feel like every time I say that, people are like, oh my God. But it was like one of the best things that ever happened to me. And the reason I say that is because God used it to rip me down to the studs. Like, He trimmed me all the way back. He showed me the areas in my life that were costing me my growth, costing me that connection with Him. And a lot of that was I had just numbed out of my life. I'd given up on my dreams. I didn't like who I was or where my life was. And I say that kind of tentatively because I had already started making changes there. Like, I had switched jobs to a job I really loved. I was getting to work with horses. There was a lot of positive things going on, but I had fought depression for a really long time. And I had fought this just like sense of negativity and these deep emotions that I hadn't ever really been able to let go of because I didn't know how to feel and process my emotions. And so I made the decision to make a huge investment in myself in 2023. And I went on this therapy retreat in Sedona, Arizona, which was one of the most beautiful, safe spaces I've ever been in. And it allowed a lot to come up for me. But I made the decision to, instead of resting and taking care of myself after that retreat, to immediately go home and to my family. And home has not always been a safe space for me. And emotionally, it just released everything that I had been holding off. And I destroyed some of my relationships, but, and it felt like my entire life exploded. And looking back, it was so hard, but it was such a blessing because God showed me how I was numbing out of my life and how I wasn't showing up and how I needed Him. And He put me in a season of isolation, which I really needed. Like, I needed to step back, and He showed me like how my drinking and how all these bad habits were costing me the life that I wanted. I've always been a big picture thinker. I've always been a dreamer, and these bad habits were holding me back from accomplishing those dreams. And so He took 2 years to really work on me. After that emotional breakdown, I found out I had some pretty serious health issues. Um, I found out I have hemochromatosis, which is too much iron in the blood, and it's really uncommon for females to have that. But I was on birth control, and my liver just kind of quit working, and it was one of the things that inspired me to quit drinking. And I think me not drinking doesn't make sense to a lot of people because drinking was part of my identity before that. And like, I was the Coors Light queen. Give me some Pendleton. Let's party. Let's go drink. Let's go brand. And I still, like, I love to brand calves. I love to be in those environments, but God showed me I don't have to have that. I don't have to numb out of my life, because that was a big portion, not only of the health reasons of why I quit drinking, but I realized I was using alcohol to numb out from the parts of my life that I didn't want to face and I didn't want to deal with. And if you don't face and deal with those parts, they'll keep you stuck. Like, they build muck, and it's just not a good thing. And so that's part of the reason I quit drinking, is not only was my health failing, but I realized, like, I had just quit on my life. Like, I quit working on my dreams, I quit working on my goals, and like, being so numb and not being present was costing me so much in my life. And so God took that away from me, and He isolated me for 2 years. Like, I didn't want to be around people. The only people I really spent time with was my Bible study girls and my church family, which was a blessing, being on that ranch and being out away from everybody, because I really, really needed to work on myself and work on my relationship with God. And God gave me such a cool opportunity there. And so for the last 2 years, I've really invested in. Last year, He asked me to step out and take a risk and go to Arizona, and I didn't listen. He started putting this just like inkling in my mind in November, December of, I guess it would have been probably 2023. And I was like, no, 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 I'm not ready. And then 2024 was a super hard year for me. I went through an a very toxic relationship, and I was blessed because I think that relationship was a test in terms of the things I've been working on, but it brought a lot of stuff up to the surface for me in terms of relationships. And then if you guys knew me, Tipsy was my right hand. Like, Tipsy was my border collie female, and I lost her very unexpectedly in August, and that like broke me in a lot of ways because Tipsy was my best friend. And then my grandma passed away in the fall of October, and it just was, and like things got really hard. There was some stuff at work that got really hard, and I feel like God was using it to push me. He's like, you have to get out and do what I told you to do. And I'm not telling you these things because I'm complaining, because they were big blessings. They cleared a lot of stuff out for me emotionally. They pushed me to go on and grow. And I think sometimes it's really hard to look at loss like that. God oftentimes trims us back, takes everything away from us so he can give us new growth, new life, a new pattern, and so that we can walk in his purpose and his will. And I don't think we really think about that sometimes. Like, I was devastated in October. I felt like I had lost the two things that loved me unconditionally, and it put me in just this like savage mindset. And it's been interesting because I feel like I'm getting to kind of rewrite my story with the Arizona trip. Last time God like ripped me down to the studs, he trimmed me back, he trimmed off all that bad growth, and now he's rebuilding me. He's allowing me to grow, he's allowing me to build, and it's been such a beautiful journey. And he's helping me find forgiveness. He's allowing me to use the things I've went through the last 2 years to serve and help others, and he's working on softening my heart and giving me a servant's heart, which I think is going to be a huge aspect of my business, because I think it's those trials and those testimonies are our opportunity to share God with other people. And he's worked so much in my life. He's given me my health back. On this trip, he's allowed me to slow down, regulate my nervous system. He's given me the opportunity to go see people that I've wanted to work with for years, that I've been following, and I've gotten to connect with them. I've gotten to go to events that, I have watched from afar for a long time and always told myself I couldn't go because I was working, and it's been interesting. He has given me everything I prayed for in terms of how I wanted my life to look. More time with my horses, more time to travel, more time with family and friends. I get to go to these cool events, but like, my life doesn't look how the world tells me it should look right now. And it has given me a lot of fear in some aspects of this trip, and I think that's where God's been working on me, is you've got to have that faith. You've got to be able to step out and trust me that I'm going to take care of you and I'm going to provide. And I mean, it's been really funny because it's been down to the wire numerous times, and like, he just shows up and he takes care of me. And it's that thing, like, you don't have to take these huge leaps of faith. You just have to take one step towards him, and keep doing what he calls you to do. And there's just been this message for me of like, you have to learn to steward the little things before I give you the big things. And he's been showing me that, and just keep stewarding the little things, to keep taking the little steps in faith. And I've always been a big believer the seeds you plant today are going to pay off tomorrow, and he's allowing me to plant these like beautiful seeds. And so I just wanted to jump on here because I know a lot of you guys are in the baby steps of your business, like, and that's where I was last year. I filed my LLC, I started off really strong, and then all this stuff happened and it created all this fear, and I slowed down and I wasn't as consistent and I didn't accomplish what I want to. And I think we have to remember sometimes it's in God's timing. Like, last year was really hard, but it built a lot of tenacity in me. It gave me all the skill sets I needed to step out this year. And I also think it's a reminder to take those little steps in faith. Like, there's so much fear in the world. People will talk negativity over your plans, they'll talk fear, they won't understand you. But like, if you keep connecting with God and you keep that relationship and keep building it, he will use you for so much more. And I know there's a bunch of us that feel like we're called for more. We're called to serve people, we're called to help people, we're called to build. And so I just think that's such a powerful thing, is remember, to just continue to take those little steps, continue to connect, and in his timing, he's going to show you where you need to go. So I just wanted to share that with you guys who are in the baby steps of your business and looking to step out. Like, don't be afraid to step out and take that leap of faith. Don't be afraid to build your relationship with God, because he's working on you. He's giving you the tools to step forward. And also, don't let those setbacks stop you. Like, if you've got to take a break and regroup and then keep going, just don't quit. Like, that's the biggest thing I've learned, is just keep the faith, keep praying, like, keep taking those little steps forward and don't quit. And I don't know, I want to step on here and connect with you guys this morning. And just a little update for you guys. I am in Northern California right now. I'm headed down to the mid-state. I will be in between Winters and down by Ione for the next couple weeks. And I will probably come back up here for a little bit, to Siskiyou County. And so if you guys want to connect, I would love to connect. Some of the services my business offers is photography, videography, writing, social media work, website work. My big thing is I want to help entrepreneurs step out and succeed. And so I do brand photography, stuff like that. And we want to help. If you have a baby business and you need some social media work, you need help, please reach out. We want to help you. I have the privilege of working with an amazing website designer. And so we can help you get set up. Just make sure you reach out. And I will be traveling in California for the next couple weeks. So I would love to connect with you guys. And then after that, I'm probably going to go to Idaho for a little bit and then back to Vegas. So if you guys are in those areas and you want to connect, make sure you comment below or reach out, because I think that's the cool thing about this journey, is it is allowing me to connect with some amazing people. And it's allowing me to rebuild my relationships in a healthier way that's healthy for me and healthy for them. And it's also allowing me to forgive, because that was the hard thing about the stuff I went through a couple years ago. Like, my heart for a minute got really hard there. And that's not who I am. I see the good in people, and I think God calls us to forgive and to love on people. And sometimes that's hard. Sometimes we've got to step away and just take a break. But my other message is, allow him to work on your heart so you can forgive those people, because letting go of that bitterness will be one of the best things for you that you can imagine. So on that, I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and we'll catch you later.